a young Dave. That was actually, they sent us quite a few pictures to rummage through. My marketing guy landed on that one.
Starting off, you have a new special blend for a radio personality that I would say most trekkers definitely would recognize. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the Nemo 55 bag. It's a limited release. Only 1,000 bags were printed and filled with some amazing coffee. That one is to showcase Dave Nemo's years in radio, 55 years, obviously, and the impact he's made on the trucking industry, the lives he's changed. So we thought that it was fitting to showcase him and his brand on coffee, because we're in the coffee business and he loves coffee. So it just kind of made sense. So, with that, we were asked about doing something. So we came up with the concept of the coffee bag and presented the graphics, and they loved it, and away we went. It's been pretty good. It's been a pretty good seller. There's not, like I said, there's only 1,000 bags, so when they're gone, and it's it'll never come back. So I'd encourage anybody to run out there and grab it while they can. You can get it in whole bean or ground format. So we will actually put bag number 55 up for auction. So what that's going to entail is, it's an autographed bag. He personally autographed it with his signature on the front of the bag, and we're going to put that up for a live auction. We haven't determined if that's going to go on our site or how that's going to be handled. So we want to get a lot of excitement, around the bag, and especially that bag 55, and people bidding on it. So the plan is, during Mats in March, we will be with the Radio Nemo crew, and the winning bidder will receive it with a founder's pin that they only issue to a certain few people. So they'll have the winner of the auction will be presented with the autographed bag, the founder pin, and then that money will be the proceeds from that will be donated to the St. Christopher's Trucker Relief Fund. So we're trying, once we launch it, we're trying to get everyone bidding as aggressively as they can. I'd love to turn it into a $10,000 or $20,000 bag of coffee, So yeah.
Nice. When did the idea come about to do this bag for Dave? When did the idea originate?
Well, we had the we were the official coffee for the Radio Nemo show, and they were wanting to do something to showcase his 55 years. So my marketing guy and myself came up with the idea, well, let's do it on coffee. He loves coffee, and coffee just makes sense. That's the space that we're in. And I know that we could do a great job on designing the bag and showcasing the bag very tastefully. So that's just kind of how it came about.
And talk to me about the bag. There's a picture of Dave, a young Dave, I would say, correct?
A young Dave. That was actually, they sent us quite a few pictures to rummage through, and my marketing guy landed on that one. He thought that one really popped on the bag. And if you notice on the bag, it's got the little bitty microphones all the way around it and in the background. He just thought that picture spoke to him, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And that's kind of something I want you to expand on. I mean, all of your bags, the artwork on your bags. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a bag of coffee that has, such a, you can't not look at it. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So it's a, I'll think of something in my head on how I kind of see it looking. And I've got a great marketing guy, and he's very creative. So he and I together will come up with the graphics. He'll present some things. I'll tweak some things. Um, but like the black dog bag, for instance. Um, that's a very unique looking bag. I wanted it to have a picture of the black dog and a truck on the front of it, almost kind of with the black dog overtaking the truck in a way, because the old urban legend that is behind that. So he came up with several different ideas and looks, and we landed on that one that's on the bag currently. Um, the new one we just launched, this week, the Highways and Heroes, to showcase our veteran truck drivers and pay tribute to those men and women. I wanted something that would stand out in a very patriotic way, but also had an old constitutional, old time look to it. So I told him again, I wanted a truck on the front. I wanted an American flag theme to it. And he presented me with several different looks. And the one here just kind of makes sense with the truck facing forward, coming forward, and the little banner at the bottom, and then on the back of the bag, you've got, it's kind of looks like the Constitution. It's the old, it's ripped and torn, and it just made sense to do a bag like that, versus the big bold colors. I wanted something kind of dumbed down, old timey looking. So, because it makes it unique. There's a lot of flashy bags out there, and we've got some flashy bags in our lineup, but this one I didn't want to be overly flashy. I wanted it to speak to the history of America, and that's where the old time, dumbed down, the constitutional look comes into play, but also, speak to what it represents, our veterans and our truckers that are veterans, who served our nation, and now they serve our highways.
Where did the idea come to do a bag to honor our veterans?
Well, I've always had a soft spot for the military. My stepdad was in special forces, so I kind of grew up in that whole Green Beret gung ho world. Because I myself was going to go into the military in the special forces as a sniper, actually, and for years I've always had, like I said, a soft spot for our veterans. They sacrifice so much. They sign up and they're willing to take a bullet for people they don't even know. And I just thought it made sense to launch a coffee bag around that. There's so many veterans that are truck drivers. It's the most diverse group in trucking, I believe. So yeah, I mean, we just had to do it. We just had to do it. We had to do our part to showcase those amazing men and women who sacrificed so much, to honor our country and fight for our country, serve our country, and now they're serving our country in another way. So it just made sense.
And you also, since I talked to you last, came out with another brand bag of coffee. Talk to me about that.
The women truckers coffee. Yeah, the
Yes.
women truckers love coffee. So that one goes, we wanted to do something to showcase our women drivers. Back when I had my trucking company, we had quite a few women drivers, and they were amazing people. So we wanted to do something to showcase them as well. And we launched it during the Cancer Awareness Month in October, and the bag goes from like a pink down to a lavender. So we wanted to showcase our women drivers, and there's some history on the back of the bag of the first female commercial truck driver, Luella Bates. So she kind of paved the way, right? So we pay tribute to her on the back of the bag, and the front of the bag is just, it was just fitting to do it during Cancer Awareness Month. And some of the proceeds, we'll hold back, and we'll donate to cancer charity, breast cancer. And every year, we'll just kind of repeat. It's an ongoing bag that's never going to go away. But yeah, we're very excited about that bag. Very excited about it.
And do you mind walking me through the Nemo coffee, the Highways and Heroes coffee, and the Women Trucking coffee, and kind of each blend what it is?
So the Women Truckers coffee is actually the same blend profile as this coffee here. It's a Ethiopian Yoga Chef and a Mexican Chiapas blend. So we roasted the Women Truckers at a light roast because, one, we didn't have a light roast in the lineup, but we needed a light roast. We had a lot of people asking for that. So we wanted to make that bag our first light roast launch. So then what we did with Highways and Heroes, it's a medium roast. It's the same bean profile. It's just roasted to a medium roast, which it does change the flavor of it. So it turned out very, very nicely. The Nemo bag is a Honduran El Val single origin coffee bean. So that one is an amazing coffee. I know when it was first roasted, and I did a sampling of it, it tasted like peanut. I mean, it smelled like peanut butter. I was like, wow, this is unique. So very excited about what we've done with these bags. It's truly amazing coffee. And so the Women Truckers coffee, this one and the Nemo are in whole bean and ground format, where everything else we have is in the ground format only right now, just because it's selling so well in ground format. We haven't had a lot of demand for the whole bean. We're going to be launching whole bean in those bags as well here coming soon, just to have as an option for people. But ground is kind of where it's been on those bags.
I saw one blend you have K-cups in. Is that something you're gonna go expand in, or?
Yes, we are. Probably. I'm not sure what we would launch next in the K-cup line, and we actually, it's pretty unique. I was actually at an event last night talking with a guy, and he noticed on our website it had the word rims on it, and he was asking, "Is that something different than a K-cup?" And I told him no. I said, we call them rims because tires are on rims and rims are round, and K-cups are round pods, right? And they're in 18 count boxes because how many tires on a tractor trailer? There's 18. So everything we do is, we kind of try to keep it trucking centric. It just made sense to call them rims.
Nice.
So
I'm curious, did you talk to Dave Nemo after the bag came out? What were his thoughts on it?
yeah, he loved it. He fell in love with it. He thought it, the whole crew, Jimmy Mack, they all just were head over heels for it. Just because it was, the colors on it, it was he really made an impact in his early days. So that's kind of the reason why we chose that image, and that just the style and the look of the bag, something that was back from the old days, where he really shined and launched his career. So it's almost like going back in time, and that's one thing he loved, because he's always loved that image. And plus, that's actually one of the most favorite images of his team. They've always loved that picture of Dave.
Nice. If anybody listening or watching wants to learn more or order your coffee, how can they do that?
They go to roaddogcoffee.com.